Imagine a London where a vast network of superhighways slices through the city, where you could drive at 70 miles per hour, bypassing traffic jams entirely. Now, imagine that this entire highway system was hidden beneath London's streets, a network of subterranean motorways designed to keep traffic moving forever. It almost happened. In the 1960s, planners envisioned a radical new future for London, a city crisscrossed by 4 massive Ringway superhighways. But what happened? Why did this £1.7 billion megaproject collapse? And what would London look like today if it had been built? This is the story of London's never-built underground highway. 1950s London, the city was drowning in traffic. The streets, originally built for horse-drawn carriages, couldn't handle the explosion of cars, buses, and lorries. Small diamond by the 1960s, over 1.5 million vehicles choked London's roads every day. Traffic congestion was doubling every decade, and the government knew something had to change. Small diamond their solution? A radical new plan. The Ringways project, a massive system of 4 concentric motorways, designed to encircle London. Small diamond the most ambitious part. A tunneled superhighway that would run beneath the city, a high-speed road network hidden underground. But this wasn't just an idea, it got shockingly close to happening. The Ringway system was planned as a series of 4 highways. 1. Ringway 1, an inner motorway loop cutting through central London. 2. Ringway 2, a secondary ring through the inner suburbs. 3. Ringway 3 and 4 outer rings designed for high-speed travel. The most controversial part? Ringway 1, also called the London Motorway Box. This would have sliced right through historic neighbourhoods like Camden, Notting Hill, and Brixton, with 6-lane expressways and giant concrete flyovers. The idea was inspired by cities like Los Angeles and New York, which built major highways through their urban cores. But London's streets were too narrow, and land costs were too high, so planners proposed an underground motorway, with sections of road buried beneath buildings, parks, and even the River Thames. It sounded futuristic. It sounded revolutionary. But there was a huge problem. The cost explosion. The original estimate for Ringway 1 was £480 million, £9 billion today. But as plans developed, the real cost skyrocketed to £1.7 billion, more than the entire annual budget for London's infrastructure at the time. Mass destruction of neighbourhoods to build the ringways, over 50,000 homes would have been demolished. Entire communities in places like Dalston, Hackney, and Shepherd's Bush would have been bulldozed. The traffic paradox. The biggest flaw? The ringways wouldn't actually reduce traffic, they would encourage more cars into the city, creating even worse congestion. Planners underestimated how many people would switch from trains and buses to cars if motorways were built. The public backlash. By the early 1970s, the protests began. Campaigners fought against the destruction of parks, homes, and historic streets. Local councils rebelled against the government, refusing to approve the plans. By 1973, the ringways were effectively dead. So, what if London had actually gone ahead with its underground superhighway? Massive urban destruction, iconic areas like Notting Hill, Islington, and Clapham would have been bulldozed for 6-lane motorways. Car-centric London might have ended up more like Los Angeles, where highways dominate the city. A collapsed public transport system, the tube and buses could have suffered, as more people relied on cars instead. More pollution, London's air quality would have been significantly worse, with highways pumping smog directly into the city. Instead, London made a different choice, investing in the London Underground, bus lanes, and pedestrian-friendly streets. It wasn't perfect, but compared to cities that went all in on highways, like Birmingham and Manchester, London preserved its historic streets and urban life. But here's the twist: even though the Ringway project was scrapped, its ghost still haunts London. The M25, London's outer motorway, was originally part of Ringway 4. The north and south circular roads. These roads were supposed to be temporary connections for Ringway 2, but they remain choked with traffic today. Small diamond new underground road proposals. Some engineers have revisited the idea of buried highways, but with tunnels costing billions per mile, they may never happen. So, next time you're stuck in traffic on the North Circular, just remember, London almost built a highway system that would have changed the city forever. But in the end, the cost was just too high, and history took a different turn. If you want to see more stories about forgotten mega projects, hidden tunnels, and London's lost future, hit subscribe and stay tuned for more. What do you think? Should London have built the ringways, or was scrapping them the right choice? Let me know in the comments.